So this is my persuasive pitch for managerial communication. So the main topic of my persuasive pitch is, should employees be subjected to random drug testing? So a personal story of mine, when I was hired at Menards in the summer of 2018, I actually had to do a drug test. I had to agree to do it, fill out paperwork. They told me to go to this site. It was Freighter, I think it was Freighter in Medical College of Wisconsin in my hometown. And obviously, I took a urine test. Then they sent my results in, and at that time, I wasn't doing drugs, and I still don't do drugs till this day. So after I passed this test, I was able to start working at Menards, and I worked there for about a year. And this is also part of the reason why I chose this topic, is because I have personal background experience with it, and I have some background knowledge as well. So I also have lots of friends who tell me all the time, either A, they've been subjected to random drug testing in the past, or B, they are currently being subjected to random drug tests as of now. So here's a little bit of a scenario for you guys. If you guys have seen the show Live PD, you may remember this episode. This guy's name was Kyle, and he was under the influence of drugs while driving an 18-wheeler tanker truck on the interstate in Utah. So he was stopped after swerving all over the road on the interstate, and someone called him in. He was pulled out of his vehicle, and then he was subjected to field sobriety tests, and after he failed them, he was placed under arrest for DUI. So these are some reasons why employees should be tested according to workpartnersmd.com. Number one, protection of business. It is actually required by some federal and state laws that businesses are required to keep the workforce drug-free. Other states don't have this in place, such as California. It's the complete opposite there. Number two, safety of employees. Employees who are on drugs are not going to be able to get their job done, and they won't be as productive as others. Number three, companies can identify who has drug problems, and companies can also eliminate hiring someone who does drugs if the company does a test. So here are a few solutions according to verywellmind.com. Number one, clear justification on testing. Tests need to be relevant to the workplace, and it needs to be relevant for the situation. Like my situation with Menards, I was subjected to do a random drug test. Number two, informed consent. Obviously, an employee needs to know about it ahead of time, and in my situation, I knew about it as well when I was working at Menards. Number three, positive drug test. An employee does test positive. They either can take another test or explain their results to the company. So a call to action, obviously, is to stay away from drugs in the first place, and I also encourage those people just to show up and do their job properly. And some final thoughts. Drug testing will keep the work environment safe, and all hazards will be avoided, and the less liabilities for the company, the better. These are my work cites.